so many powerful female characters throughout your career. Who are the women in your own life who shaped the storyteller that you are today?
Oh, that's a lovely question. I mean, obviously, my mom, I'm so lucky to have such a wonderful relationship with her, but I wouldn't be acting if it wasn't for her. When I was 15, she traveled back and forth between Texas and LA with me so I could follow my dreams and just her selflessness. Um, I strive to be more like her every day.
You're no stranger to playing characters who've lived in different mediums and have this already established fan base. Does that bring a different pressure as you start filming these projects? Did you find that your experience working on Stargirl help alleviate some of that pressure heading into Dawn?
Yeah, well, I definitely remember when I first booked Stargirl, I was super nervous because comic book fans are so passionate and very particular, and I love that about them. But honestly, it that was received so well that after that, every time I'm trusted with bringing an adaptation to life, it just feels like such an honor to get to be part
Mm.
of a franchise and just that the responsibility is an honor.
Yeah, while so much of Dawn's life is impacted through the reveal that happens in the first film, music remains a cornerstone of her identity. When you're playing a character who has such a strong connection to music, how does that alter your preparation process?
Yeah, so I'm not a singer, and I told them that with like the first the first audition. They were like, "So can you sing?" And I'm like, "No," but they were so kind to like trust me, even with trying to portray that. And I think for me, like I do create playlists for my characters. So I think with Dawn, it was even more important to really spend time and effort into that playlist. And it's fun because it was started in the 70s. So getting to kind of
Yeah.
explore and like what would Dawn be listening to on the weekends? Yeah,
Yeah. Do you remember what was on that playlist?
definitely the Beatles. Like she's vibing to like
Yeah.
1000%.
In addition to the incredible work that you've done on screen, you've also started writing. Have you found that your experiences behind the scenes have now impacted the way that you approach your work on screen and vice versa, specifically with characters like Dawn?
Absolutely. Yeah. I feel like when I'm writing specifically, I do almost go at it from an actor's perspective. Like I'll be saying the line like, how would I want this set? Like there needs to be a the there. And very much vice versa because now I feel more confident with my writing. When I read something, I like think how did the writer write this? What did they envision when they were writing this? And then doing my best to present that.
Oh, great answer. And there's so much vulnerability that you have to tap into when you're playing a character like Dawn, who's had her life turned upside down at the start of these films. So you brought so much nuance to that journey. As an actress, how did you create the space for yourself to dive into that emotional arc?
Yeah, no, this was honestly probably the most emotionally taxing character I've done thus far. Um, it was challenging, but I'm so grateful for it. And I just remember there would be days where I I mean, man, I can't spoil anything. I'll just say like a lot of the stuff that Dawn went through, like Brec personally hasn't gone through. So I kind of had to research in different ways than I normally.
Mm.
Normally I pull from my own life experience, but I tried to watch films and shows that kind of inspired my work.
Speaking of that emotional journey, you're such a standout in this film, and there's so much that's thrown at your character. Is there a scene in particular that you're excited for your fans to see, and which was the most one that you were most nervous to film?
I was definitely most nervous to film the scene with Michael Sutton, just because it's very different. I've never experienced something like that, like
Mm.
a
Yeah.
teacher student relationship. Um, but Joey McIntyre was so professional, such a wonderful scene partner, so present with me. And I was actually really proud of the work we did on those days. So I was equally as nervous for those scenes, and also like that's one of the scenes I'm most excited for people to see.
And there's so much trust that's needed when you're tackling a storyline like this. How are you able to build that with the rest of your co-stars?
Honestly, I think because everyone was thrown into it so quickly, it was kind of a whirlwind. We didn't get months to prepare these characters. So there had to be so much trust within us for that support. So I think that bonded us